morning and good evening. Onegaishimasu. Today, let me begin by reading the principle of non-dissension. There is no conflict in the absolute universe. Conflict arises only in the relative world. If we are to lead others, we must unify mind and body and practice the principles of the universe. Do not say this is a world of survival of the fittest, where the stronger prey upon the weaker. The true way to peace is exactly the same as the principle of non-dissension. Today is, we are considering number 4 of the 13 rules for instructors by Koichi Toi Sensei. I sent this out to you earlier in the week. It says, you should not speak badly about other martial arts. The mountain does not laugh at the river being low, and the river doesn't speak badly about the mountain for being immobile. Each has its own characteristics which work best for them. Someone who speaks poorly of others should know that it will inevitably return to them. So, of course, when we say this, this just doesn't refer to other martial arts. Naturally, it, of course, refers to all other people, other countries, other cities, other, not just forms of practice, but other individuals, people that we know in our daily life, people that we have had a lot of experience with, are usually the ones that we're speaking badly about. And speaking badly, let's face it, is a kind of a tip of the iceberg. The problem is much deeper than that, and has occurred long before it comes out of our mouth as a negative, pejorative kind of saying about someone else. Of course, that has to begin when we judge someone to be inferior or inappropriate or not good enough in some way, less than we are. Now, why would we make someone less than we are in our mind? Well, because we feel inadequate in some way. It never happens all by itself. It doesn't occur in a vacuum. When we feel like someone is less, that's the mirror universe in action. When we feel someone is less, when we make someone negative in our mind, that's because we're feeling less than, and we want to make them less than, so we'll be more than. Last night, I really noticed yesterday in the international seminar with Shinichi Toi Sensei how often he, several times he referred to this. He said, this is not a win-lose situation, folks. This is just all of us practicing together. And there was like the big gong going off in my head, because that's exactly what we're doing in every moment of our life. We're all just practicing together. This is never a win-lose situation unless we make it so. And we only make it so because we feel inadequate. And we need to win to feel better than. And we need someone else to lose for us to feel better than. For us to feel superior, for us to feel superior. So this is the source of this judgment that occurs once it's happened in our mind, in our thoughts. Then that's a poison that we begin dripping that poison into our subconscious mind. Every time the thought comes up, that we feed that thought, that negative thought about someone, it drops more poison into our subconscious mind. And sooner or later, of course, it's going to come out in words. But like I said, once you say something badly about someone else, much of the damage is already done. And in this saying, Toy Sensei says, look out or it'll come back to haunt you someday. Well, yes, it will come back to bite us. But it's biting us already, isn't it? I think it's biting us as soon as we think it. It's already poisoning us. Yes, once we say it, then others will think badly of us. Anyone who's listening in the room will notice our immaturity, will notice our smallness that we say something, our shallowness that we say something like this about someone else, that we disparage someone else. And I think I should say one other thing about this, because someone, after I wrote this, sent that note out this week. One friend of mine wrote me and said, well, I've heard my teacher, our teacher, disparage someone in the past. I have heard Toy Sensei say something negative about another group. I have heard Suzuki Sensei say something negative about another person. I have said negative things about other people, and every single one of you have done that. This is the nature of our practice. It's an improvement situation going on infinitely. When you train with a teacher, you're not following the teacher. We're following the teaching. Teacher isn't perfect any more than the student is perfect. So when we recognize this about each other, then we realize, yeah, we can notice when somebody does something that is less than perfect, right? And we deal with it in some way immediately, but immediately we set it aside and we move on. So forgiveness is very, very important, because otherwise this statement that Toy Sensei makes becomes a pejorative statement in itself. And then we begin to watch others to see if they break this rule. And when they do, then they're less than us. We are breaking the rule by following the rule. We have to be very careful about these business of 13 rules for us, that it doesn't become 13 rules for other people in our lives, and thus give us another reason to judge others as being less than we require them to be in our life. We're all practicing together. And we have a practice, we have a teaching that we're all following. And we're all doing our very best. So thank you for practicing with me. I appreciate it. Okay, let's do some key breathing. You know, this business of disparaging others seems like a kind of a virus, doesn't it? And it's very catching, very easy to infect each other with this virus. And I just realized it has really 3 stages, not 2. Thinking negatively about someone, speaking negatively about someone, and then doing something negative about something. And in all 3 of these stages, then, this virus has killed far, far more millions and millions of people than COVID ever did. And yet, I never hear any big uproar about this virus. And so we all need a vaccine, right? So the vaccine is this practice and becoming inured to the apparent inequality that exists. So we're just kind of getting used to living with each other. That's our maturity is just beginning to grow a little bit and bring us together. What do you think about that? I'd like to hear someone say something about this business of thinking badly, speaking badly, doing badly. Why do we do this? Okay, someone speak.
Morning, Sensei. Thank you for this opportunity. It's Priya.
Hi, Priya.
Good to see you. So, what about accountability? So, if somebody is harming or hurting somebody else, how do we deal with it without speaking negatively about that person? Or do you just ignore their behavior?
As a teacher, I always say that the problems all begin when you think it is your job to fix someone. This is someone asked me this same question, Priya, when I was teaching in Barcelona, in Mataró. And this person was very upset because he looked around the world and he sees the horrible inequalities and inappropriate activities that are happening all the time. What are we supposed to do about this? So, let me ask you, what are you supposed to do about this? Give me an example, a specific example, and tell me what you're doing about it. Or what you feel you should do about it, or what you think you might be able to do about it. Anything. Just pick something that disturbs you. Not so easy. Why? Why is that very, very difficult? It's very easy to be disturbed in a general sense. I mean, maybe even about something specific, but we are all disturbed as a group about it. Or I'm disturbed, the first thing I want to do is tell someone else, speak badly to someone else about that thing or that person that needs to be fixed. So what I said, I think, is very true about this saying that Toi Sensei wrote. It's very easy when reading that saying to let the saying be a pejorative. Do you understand what I mean by that? Like, when he says right here in the beginning, you should not speak badly about other martial arts. You should not speak badly about other people. You should not do this. So what are you doing right there? Exactly what it says not to do. Whatever we try to do to counter something that is negative. It doesn't make it positive because you're trying to do away with something negative. That is negative. It's like trying to get rid of darkness by screaming in the dark. You just turn the light on, and the darkness never was there to begin with. It's not a thing. It's an absence of a thing. So in order to make the world better, so to speak, we make ourselves better. Okay? Thank you
Yes,
very
thank
much.
you very much.
That's a really good question. And it will come up again. It comes up again and again because this is a virus we all carry. And so every time it rears its head, the only real antidote is loving kindness. And loving kindness is not just a feeling, but it's a whole way of living, a whole way of being together with other people. Okay, yeah. Not to lecture you about it, but thank you for the question. Someone else, please. This is such a great subject. It's a double bind, isn't it? You know, really, this is why I like Shinichi Sensei's teaching so much, and I was reminded of it yesterday. Again, he is so plus-minded. There is no room for anything. Apparently, when I watch him teach, there seems no room for any negativity, any blocking of ki, any holding back, any hesitation, any doubt. He's just constantly full of ki and extending it to everybody. It's a very beautiful thing. I'm so grateful to. I hope many of you, if you were not able to attend yesterday, that you take the opportunity to watch the video. I know all of you have the access to it because I think Tracy Sensei gave it to everyone who's a member. Someone else, please. What does this make you think? Don't be shy.
Hello, Sensei.
Oh, hello. These are our visitors. They're on Maui now from Germany. You'll see them on Wednesday night and at the seminar. Thorsten and Steffi, please.
Yes. What I realize when I do this is what you say about loving kindness is a problem I think I have and others too is I wanted to be loved and I wanted to be in a group. And so my ice-aged brain told me,
My Ice Age brain.
yes, the old part of the brains, it's safer to be in a group. So the ground problem for me is not feeling so safe, and I wanted to be loved, and so I do this stupid thing because if there will be just living kindness, there will be enough love for both. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. You know, so the group that we are all a member of is the human species.
Yeah,
Right?
this is a bigger group, the human species.
Is the
But I'm
ultimate
talking
group.
that because I want a smaller group, us against the others.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And, you know, I think I might have told you this before, but it just when I came out of my 3-year meditation retreat, someone asked me to go to lunch in a restaurant, which I hadn't done for 3 years. And I was sitting in this restaurant, and I suddenly looked around, and I had this intuitive feeling, or I realized that everybody was putting on an act, acting, pretending to be eating and acting with their families and their partners. But really it was just an act they were putting on for me. And they were waiting for me to wake up. that this whole drama was so that the whole group of humanity was all sacrificing itself for me personally so that I could wake up to loving kindness. I know we have this propensity or tendency or desire to be, as you say, in a smaller, a more protected family or a tribal group, which is right and good and true and original, and everything on the outside is different and maybe even less or worse, which makes us feel like something special. But can we not feel like something special in the biggest group of all of humanity? Because that's the truth of it. We're all watching and supporting you, Steffi. Everyone is holding you like this. And of course, everyone is, we're all being held like this. This is very important to become a member, a true authorized member, to allow ourselves the grace of being a part of the human race. This is our birthright. So that we're all in this together. And that way we respect each other and care for each other. Like we are all like brothers and sisters in the same family. I think so. Thank you very much, Steffi. Is anyone else? Would anyone else like to say something? We have just 2 minutes.
Good morning, Sensei. It's Phoenix. Thank you so much.
Good morning.
What comes to mind is how much what Steffi was just talking about has sort of taken over the world in the sense, with so much, whether it's politics, war, the intensity of folks choosing, and myself as well, wanting the comfort of being able to make it different or something. And it's just, I feel such heartbreak when I recognize, no doubt in myself as well, but also in others in the world, how much that being a part of a group and it's sort of how much all of us in some sense are seeking that safety, that like I have enough lions around me to be safe. And it's just, anyway, it just seemed very relevant to what we're talking about now on the world scale.
Yeah, I think the what always accompanies this need to be special by putting others in a lower position is blindness. Because, like I said, we don't hear any big uproar about this one, about this virus. I mean, you do hear little echoes here and there about it, little complaints, but they are complaints. They are talking about them, right? It's more of the same. So it's very important that we're not blind to ourselves. So we aren't more of the same by criticizing this horrible situation, which, let's face it, even with COVID, people got into camps and fought with each other about the vaccine or whether or not to take it or whether even there was such a disease. I heard somebody tell me, oh, there's no such thing as COVID. So, blindness accompanies this inevitably. If we want to see, we have to be free. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll see you all again soon. どうもありがとうございました。